Right, and welcome back to the channel. No, it wasn't a bad dream. It happened. Here's 5 things that we learned. United against Sevilla. In at 1, complacency equals collapse. We started the game on absolute fire. I was absolutely buzzing watching us. I was like, oh my God, we're going to absolutely batter them. We're back, baby. Book fucking Budapest. Let's get it done. First 30 minutes or so was absolutely electric. Antony's going around the outside of people. Sabitzer's just like, who the fuck is this guy? Get him signed on. And then it was such an average side that it almost looked easy. We were carving them up, and they'd gone 1v1 at the back, which was mental. They weren't stopping us playing out. They weren't stopping us playing through. We just fucking waltzed through the midfield. It was easy. We had a couple of shots that, man, do you know what? We'll sort it out in the second half, or we're crossing it in, and there's chances getting flashed back across. We're getting all of these shots. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. And then it just absolutely capitulated in the second half. We've given ourselves so much to do in a second leg without massive key players. Bruno getting the yellow card, and for what? I don't understand how it's a yellow card. Bonkers. Missing the second leg. Martinez, the more I'm reading up on what this might be, and a lot of people are actually suggesting it is an Achilles, and guess what? You're out for a long ass time. Problematic in a big, big way. We have given ourselves so much to do. Number 2, injuries. And like I just touched on there, Varane injured at half time. Martinez injury looks like it could be a season ender. If not, beyond, like, if we see him back in pre-season, I guess we'll all breathe out a little bit. Shaw's out, Rashford's out. The squad wasn't strong enough. It now certainly will not be strong enough to cope with these very specific issues that we're looking at the moment. Massive, massive few weeks ahead of us. We've got the possibility of a Europa League semi-final. We've got the possibility of an FA Cup final. We've got the fight to finish inside the top 4. It would be such a shame for the wheels to come off now, because the progress that's been made and the good feeling that's been back, winning a cup, winning the League Cup, if that's all that happens this season, is going to feel like such a failure. But it at the time felt like, oh my God, let's kick on from here. We're still in everything. We can still finish inside the top 4 comfortably. We were 3rd at the time. We can go on and do whatever we want in Europa. The FA Cup looks like a straightforward route to the final. All of those things was on the cards when we lifted that trophy at Wembley weeks ago. And now it could be a case of, yeah, guess what? That's where it peaked. And that feels so unfair, because it feels like Ten Hag has done so much to turn everything around. The new signings are starting to look great for us. And then it just all fucking falls to shit. Number 3, Antony was bright. I guess if there was a positive to take out of that game, Antony might have been United's best player. Very direct, very expressive, very confident, going left and right of people. We've seen him coming in on his left. He's excellent at it. He's probably too good at it because that's all he does. And then he's like, hey, guess what? Learned a new trick. Bosh, and goes to the right. And that makes him dangerous. When he's got the ability and desire to go both ways on a defender, it makes a defender think. If a defender thinks, oh, no, you're coming on your left, they're going to line up. It makes it easier for you to go on your right. Then can you find a little bit of productivity from your right? Now you're a problem. As soon as Antony was subbed, there was absolutely zero threat. Really, really promising performance from him. He kept possession well. He offered balance. He was a threat. He was a ball hair away from scoring a fantastic goal. Really, really positive performance. Pleased from him. Really was. Really was. Number 4, Sabitzer. That advanced role really suits him. Central, deep runs. The second goal was superb. Anthony Martial's hold-up play was brilliant. I think I mentioned this in the review, but a lot of people was going, oh, I just seen the future, and if that's what Harry Kane's going to do, I like this a lot. Showed he can finish off both feet. The movement was really clever. He takes up good positions. He's a real goal-scoring threat. Obviously got himself a brace. Could be a player that is utilised in the absence of Bruno, and will not be a massive drop-off, if any drop-off at all in quality. I would do whatever we can to get him signed on a permanent basis. Seems to love the club. Had a really positive statement that came out yesterday about how he was saying how well looked after he was, which I'm really glad to hear, because that was not the case a few years ago at United. So something's changed for the positive in the background. And SABITZER just looks like he adds a real bit of quality. And when you're looking at the lack of depth in certain areas, or the drop-off from your first choice to the second choice, or backup choices in certain positions, having SABITZER go, I can do a bit of bits in like 2 or 3 different positions for you, is such a luxury to have, such a positive thing to have in the squad. I would just, yes, get him. What's the cost? It won't be that much. Just fucking get him. Whatever it is, just go get him. You know, he is a top player, seems like a good professional, and he's an excellent footballer, top and bottom of it. Number 5, the subs didn't work. Weghorst and Alanga with 30 to go at 2-0. With hindsight, looks like an absolute fuck-up. We surrendered any sort of momentum and any sort of threat that we had. Taking Bruno off when he isn't playing next week, maybe a little bit strange. The game just immediately swung in Sevilla's favour, and the game became chaotic. There was no rhythm. There was an absolute lack of potency, and then there was a lack of respect from Sevilla to us, because they were like, we're not going to do shit. Let's get after them. There was no rhythm, no potency in those forward areas. The game management from United and control was non-existent. Where was the shithousery? Where was the, do you know what, I'm just going to tie my lace 45 times? Where was the, just boot it out? No, I don't want that ball. Give me that ball. But Gaffer got it wrong tonight. No, and he's not got much wrong this season. But I think the over-exuberance to make substitutions, maybe to give people minutes, maybe he's thinking about giving them some time on the running. Maybe that's what he's thinking. But to be honest, I think he got that wrong. And I think in getting that wrong, swung the momentum the wrong way. Now, we should have been out of sight. We had the opportunities to be 3, 4 goals to the good. And if we'd have been 3 or 4 goals to the good, we could have sewn this shit up and just sent anything to the Sevilla for the second leg, and that would have been the perfect preparation for going into the FA Cup semi-final. We ain't got that. Now we're going to have to fucking dig in. It's going to be a ropey 2 weeks. Strap yourselves in. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.